India's biggest airline IndiGo is under the scanner. The Competition Commission of India has ordered a detailed investigation into alleged unfair business practices nearly 2 months after massive flight cancellations that left lakhs of passengers stranded. The watchdog has prima facie found that IndiGo abused its dominant position in the domestic aviation market to cause the cancellations of the flights. In a 16-page order, the CCI said that IndiGo's large-scale flight cancellations in early December amounted to withholding capacity, creating artificial scarcity during the peak travel season. The regulator noted that cancelling thousands of flights restricted consumer access to air travel, a move that may violate Section 4 of the Competition Act, which deals with abuse of dominance. The case stems from a passenger complaint following severe operational disruptions between December 3 and 5. During this period, 2,507 flights were cancelled, 1,852 flights were delayed, and over 3 lakh passengers were affected nationwide. CCI pointed out that IndiGo's control around 60 to 61% of domestic aviation market seat kilometers, giving it effective control over market capacity. The watchdog has also flagged the high concentration in India's domestic aviation market, saying that dominant players can operate independently of competitive measure. On IndiGo's claim that CCI lacks jurisdiction, the regulator firmly disagreed, citing a Supreme Court ruling that only CCI can examine anti-competitive conduct under the Competition Act. The Commission also clarified that while DGCA regulates safety and operations, it does not assess competition, dominance or market abuse. Following the December chaos, the DGCA had already cut IndiGo's winter schedule by 10% until February 10. Despite dominating over 63% of the domestic market for months, IndiGo's market share slipped to 59.6% in December. Now, with a full-fledged probe ordered, India's largest airline faces intense regulatory scrutiny, and the spotlight is firmly on its market power and passenger impact. For more on this, I am being joined by my colleague Sabyasachi Roy Chaudhary. Sabyasachi, serious allegations against IndiGo. CCI is actually accusing them of creating the shortage artificially.
That's right, Nancy. The CCI in their order have said that the IndiGo has violated two provisions of the CCI. They have manipulated their market dominance, as well as they have tried to influence the purchase price of goods. Now the CCI has demanded a written reply from IndiGo within 90 days. Now we need to understand that between the time period of December 3rd to December 10th, nearly around 4,200 flights were cancelled by IndiGo, and several lakh passengers were impacted. Now, one person from Bengaluru, Kartikeya Rawal, he in fact reached out to the CCI and registered a complaint. He said that at the time when the IndiGo crisis was going on in the country, his flight was cancelled without any prior notice, and the alternative option that was given to him was at a much higher rate. So this particular complaint has come in from a lot of passengers who have been affected during this time. Now, Nancy, we need to understand that IndiGo holds around 64% in the market share, and the next is Air India, which holds around 27%, and IndiGo has the highest fleet in domestic airlines, around 400 flights, and next to it is Air India, which operates around 191 flights. So clearly the IndiGo have a power as far as the market position is concerned, and also the DGCA, in fact, in their own investigation, they have imposed a fine of around 22 crores on IndiGo for overstretching their crew members and pilots. Now, IndiGo so far has given around 1,100 crore refunds to all the passengers who have been affected because of the IndiGo crisis, and now the CCI have demanded a written reply from IndiGo within 90 days. But we have also, it is interesting whether CCI has a real jurisdiction to question IndiGo or not, because we have not yet heard anything from the IndiGo officially.
Sabyasachi, but the allegations against the airlines are quite serious. CCI is claiming that they created the whole artificial scarcity of seats, and they did all of this to make sure that their prices go high during the peak travel season, which was in December last year.
Well, that's right. See, Nancy, the CCI has said that they have created an artificial scarcity, and the CCI has also, in the order, have said that IndiGo have withheld the aircraft and they manipulated the prices. And the prices were quite high. Around one price ticket costed nearly around 60,000 to 70,000. So under these circumstances, the CCI says that IndiGo has violated two provisions of the CCI, and under these circumstances, they have demand an written answer from IndiGo within 90 days. And if they are not satisfied with the given answer from the IndiGo, then we can see some action from the CCI as well, because already the DGCA has imposed 22 crore rupees fine on IndiGo, and IndiGo has so far given 1,100 refunds to passengers, and additionally they have also announced 10,000 vouchers to all the passengers who have been affected during the crisis. So the question still remains whether IndiGo created this particular crisis, because the fact remains that IndiGo holds the highest market share as far as the aviation industry is concerned, because the next airline, which is Air India, just holds around 27% in market. So clearly the passengers who were who suffered because of the IndiGo crisis did not have much alternative option but just to rely on IndiGo. And at that particular time, what the CCI claims that the prices were quite high, and under these circumstances they claim that two provisions of the CCI were violated by the IndiGo during this time.
Sabyasachi, the probe led by DGCA had found that IndiGo did not cause this disruption deliberately, and there were multiple factors that were affecting and that caused that chaos that we all saw in December. IndiGo has in return questioned CCI's jurisdiction, to which CCI replies that this is a matter of competition which has nothing to do with safety regulation that comes under the DGCA's jurisdiction.
That's right, Nancy. See, already the DGCA has given out its report in public domain. Now, the DGCA was investigating the IndiGo crisis, which was led by a committee that was appointed by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Now, in their report, the DGCA, though, have given a clearance to IndiGo that they did not do it knowingly, or they did not orchestrated the entire crisis. But DGCA also imposed a fine of around 22 crores on IndiGo, and in fact the DGCA also asked that several top executives of the IndiGo should be removed immediately, and a stern warning also was issued to IndiGo's CEO and COO as well. Now, the DGCA in their direction was very clear that IndiGo has to comply with the flying duty norms, and they have been submitting the routine updates to the DGCA as well regarding the flight operations, regarding the appointment of pilots and crew members. But CCI says that at the time when the crisis happened, where 4,200 flights were cancelled between December 3rd to December 10th, and in the month of November, around 900 flights were cancelled by IndiGo. And the CCI, the main point that they put out, that IndiGo enjoyed their dominance in the market share, because when the flights were getting cancelled, and IndiGo holding the largest market share, and what CCI claims that IndiGo operated exclusively in 330 routes, and they held market share of around 64%. So they say that there was no alternative option for the passengers who were stranded across in different airports to opt for other airlines, because the other airlines like Akasa, Air India, they did not have much aircraft to provide, and IndiGo kind of withheld their aircraft at the time of the crisis. So this allegation has come in from the CCI, and that is the reason why they demanded a a written reply from IndiGo within 90 days. Now, this, Nancy, comes in after passengers who have been affected because of the crisis, they reached out to the CCI and have given a complaint to the CCI. After that, the CCI has carried out its probe and now have put out a 16-page order on the IndiGo crisis, and they have now demanding answer from IndiGo within 90 days.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Sabyasachi, for joining me on the broadcast. For now, IndiGo remains under tight scrutiny over the December mass flight cancellations.